To get support with anxiety, always good, again, to talk to someone, talk to a professional, someone who understands anxiety. Even if you don't have access to that, talking to people you trust, someone who can really just listen to you and what you're going through. I always recommend too, if you know someone who struggles with anxiety, talk to them. You may feel more seen and understood by someone who's been through it themselves as well. And that can feel very validating. You're definitely not alone. This is something that millions of people struggle with. So I think when you struggle with anything, whether it's anxiety or something else, that feeling of what's wrong with me, am I alone in this, can amplify the anxiety. So really connecting to others can help. Other ways to get support are to try to practice self soothing. So, anxiety is very fixated on future thinking, the what ifs of what's going to go wrong. So, bringing yourself back to the present moment, practicing some form of mindfulness. If mindfulness, just sitting and meditating or sitting and thinking, is difficult, I always recommend go on a walk and practice mindfulness. Pay attention to what's around you, notice the colors, the sights, the sounds. That can be really soothing to come back into your body and remind yourself, wait, everything is okay right now. I don't have to let this anxiety run my life and run my mindset. With anxiety, we typically future trip and we're future tripping to the negative. So depression takes us to the past, anxiety takes us to the future. We want to practice being and living in the now to help. With anxiety, because there is so much pent up energy, there's an excess of energy, movement is so essential. So if you do have the energy for something more intense than walking, even going on a run or discharging energy with lifting weights or some form of exercise that's pleasurable, can be so healing for the body and for the mind. With anxiety, again, we want to just notice it. It is trying to communicate something to us. So, another part of supporting yourself with anxiety is asking yourself, okay, anxiety, what are you trying to tell me right now? What do you need? Right? And sometimes it's not just about erasing the anxiety. Sometimes it's about listening and then doing something that's appropriate to help the anxiety. For example, if you're nervous about that test and you haven't studied, that's a moment where the nervousness or maybe the anxiety in this case is telling you, let's go study. And if then the anxiety or nervousness gets resolved, then you know, oh, that was a helpful thing to help with anxiety. If it doesn't get resolved after that, then that's when we lean more into the disordered side of anxiety. And maybe we have to practice those other things like grounding, exercise, talking to someone about it. But please do listen to your anxiety. It is telling you something important.